ladies and gentlemen.
This in and do this right. Okay, I had it disconnected, so we're going to do this again. Yeah, did you hear that silence? Isn't that is dedicated to the people who suffered today in that Oklahoma stabbing. There's two victims, especially the one that got beheaded in Oklahoma. So I'm going to say that was dedicated to that person. Again, welcome back to the Gary Russen Program on GJRB Online. Welcome back to the show. It's our Friday night freestyle primetime experiment. That means that no holds barred here. Things happen on live radio on a Friday night, and usually do. So I plan to kind of make it a freestyle edition to make it more fun and to get people to listen. And this is a Friday night show, and I thought, well, why don't we just do this? You know, if I do stupid things like forget to turn my microphone on and stuff, I'm just going to have fun with it, you know, basically, because it's just, I do crazy things sometimes. So if you don't hear me sometimes, and I'm supposed to talk, and you hear hear music, but I'm not on, and I'm supposed to talk over it because I didn't have my microphone on, just laugh it off. It's just a trip. Anyway, welcome back to the Gary Russen Program here on GJRB Online. Like I said earlier, while I was trying to get my mic on, you know, welcome back. The Gary Russen Program on GJRB Online, shifting things a little bit, using my own discretion, and not worrying about it, because on Friday nights it's no holds barred. Never know what's going to happen on this radio show on a Friday night. And next Friday, the same way, Freestyle Friday edition. As a matter of fact, next Friday night is going to be, and I think is the 3rd. That's an odd day. We're going to still do it with the FM, with our closed circuit FM. But it's going to be all freestyle, no log, just no holds barred next week. Okay? No holds barred. And I usually move the program along a little bit. And then what I do is I use, here locally, I use one program log for about 3 to 4 shows. And usually on the last show, I follow everything to a T, and I start over and I write a new one. So, I mean, I write program logs for my show, but a lot of times what I do is when I'm doing a Friday night show, I don't follow it that tightly. I let it a little bit loose, and I do a show, but I don't worry about the log. I just do it at my own discretion because I'm my own program director, and this is my program logs I write, and I can use them over and over again because they're mine. That's simple. You know, they're mine. Don't belong to anybody else but me. They're my creation, so I can do what I want with them. So anyhow, welcome aboard the Gary Russen Program. Glad you can be aboard with us tonight. It's close to 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock in the East, and 8 p.m. in California, in Washington State, New Mexico. Welcome to the Gary Russen Program here on GJRB Online. Happy to be with you tonight. Happy to spend the night with us, talking and having some fun on the radio. And just, it gets crazy here on GJRB, the Gary Russen Program here on GJRB Online. And it's always fun to be here doing GRP, that's for sure. All right, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to come back and take our program break, our newscast, and then we're going to continue with the Gary Russen program, and we're going to go straight on through, and I'm going to even do is X-name my program log for the rest of the night, and only run the the breaks I run from my local end while I'm taking that 15-minute break, and I just do whatever now, okay? And then I'm going to do that log. What I usually do is I write it again, and I use it on a daytime show later and fix it, because sometimes what I'll do is, see, I have my own commercials on my own low-powered FM signal, which is 107.9. It's only a 9-foot signal. No one can hear it within a 9-foot radius of where we're broadcasting. But if you were in the neighborhood and you happen to tune your car radio to 107.9, FM 108, you'll hear us. But if you're in the neighborhood, it's only if you're in the neighborhood. Once you get past our location here, over by the Eagle Point Nursing Home, we're gone. So you won't hear us anymore. You'll probably hear the oldie station coming out of where that's at, Illinois, somewhere. So basically, that's how that, our signal only reaches so far on FM before it dies out. So I just do that because I feel like I'm on real radio, and that's about as close as I'll ever get. So I like to use this little FM patch radio thing that people use for like iPods, iPads. They can listen in another room, or they listen to their computer on a radio in the kitchen from way in the bedroom or something like that. It's one of those. So I use it for my radio station, and I usually have my own commercials, and I play them. I schedule them locally, but a lot of times what I'll do is I'll use the log, and then I'll use the log over and over and over again until I get it. All the commercials are played in order and they're on time according to how I specify, and then that log gets X-nayed and I write a new one. So I'm always using it over and over again. I change the commercials quite often, and that's how that works. So next Friday I'll have it changed again, and we'll do another run with it. So I keep on following the log until it goes through, and of course, like I said, over and over again, I always use a program log, but on Friday nights I throw away the program log and I let it go loose. X-nay, whatever happens, whatever, whenever, whatever. It's just a Gary Russen program, open forum, Friday night, Freestyle Friday, just like Rush Limbaugh does on Friday when he does his open line Friday. That's what I'm doing here. It's just whatever, whenever, whatever. It happens right here on GJRB Online, and that's how that goes. The Gary Russen program will return right after we take this news break right now. From America's Heartland, this is GJRB, Clinton, Iowa. GJRB News. I'm Gary Russen. Here are the stories I've been covering for you, and I'll be talking about on the Gary Russen program. Okay, the top of the news at this hour, including a story about the identification of that Jihad John and Oklahoma City. There was a beheading in the Midwest. We're going to talk about that story coming up. And a woman who gets pulled over and the cops find a baby in the trunk. These stories coming up. First, let's go check the weather nationwide. The GJRB Weather Center. Okay, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the area right now for all the United States, Canada, and all that good stuff. For you guys up in the Northeast, man, you guys are going to get some really good dry weather. And dry conditions, pleasant Saturday, temperatures in the 70s across most of the region of the Northeast. Dry conditions, pleasant temperatures continue through the weekend. Temperatures will be warm in late September for the next few days, with 5 to 15 degrees above average. For you guys in the south, much of the region will get to enjoy some dry Saturday, scattered thunderstorms Saturday along parts of the southeast and Gulf Coast, and rain and thunderstorms in parts of southern Texas as well. Wetter Sunday in parts of the region, mainly east of the Mississippi River, as low pressure lifts up the Gulf of Mexico. And our news starts with a beheading. This time, it's in the Midwest. That's right, a woman in a food processing plant in Oklahoma City not only got stabbed, got beheaded. And this could be ISIS supporters right here in the heartland. After the termination of this guy named Nolan, he pulled in front of a business, entering the business where he encountered the first victim, was a 54-year-old Colleen Hufford. He killed her and then severed her head. He then began going after the second woman, a 43-year-old Tracy Johnson. She survived that attack thanks to intervention from another co-worker. The company's chief operating officer, Mark Vaughan, Oklahoma County Reserve deputy, was shot and wounded Nolan. And according to the police there, Johnson was hospitalized in stable condition with numerous knife wounds. Who was that masked man? The FBI found out and identified as Jihad John. He is one of the British jihadists known as the Beals, who are holding hostages in Syria. He's shown in those chilling photos taken before a beheading of James Foley, Stephen Sotloff, and British aid worker John Haynes. Agency Director James Comey told reporters yesterday that he knew who the militant was, but was not releasing his identity to the media. He appears in those videos with a knife taunting President Obama before carrying out the killings. British officials are not saying when his identity was shared, when and if his identity will be shared with authorities in London, or whether any arrest is imminent. And continuing my music commentary on that, I had a soundbite for that, but I don't remember if I uploaded it before airtime, so I skipped that piece of soundbite on purpose for that reason. But anyway, I just wanted to tell that story again because it was quite interesting about Jihad John, wasn't it? Coming up, I got more on this story and an interesting story that I think is kind of fascinating on Friday night. Well, you know, when I came across this story, I call it a lesson in responsibility, because this young lady obviously was not responsible, and how she has a kid I'll never know. But apparently what happened was she tried to avoid getting pulled over from the cops with a she avoided this, and she tried to avoid getting a ticket by, when she got pulled over to the car, she told her sibling to put the baby in the back trunk amongst a lot of dangerous items. And geez, you know, this is what I'm talking about here, folks. These are still, some of them are like babies having babies, so to speak. And I don't know. I really think it's a sad situation